Mics are hot.
If Tim,
Hey, shut up. The show started.
all day yesterday.
Then stop talking.
Here we go.
Don't say nothing else. Let it go. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Bin Podcast, your favorite podcast. And Brenna, it is in fact the first podcast to do what?
To wake up in the morning on time for work.
I don't believe you.
Well,
Like, Mike is like, what does that look like?
I don't even. I've only done that twice, and it was on accident.
Oh,
So hi everybody, it's your favorite, it's the internet's favorite rascal, Mikey Famine here, joined with, they call him Big Driss Cumberbatch. Wayne, her lady of the skies and the queen of the north, as you can
Like
see
it?
by her lovely Norwegian forested background. If you look up in one of those trees and you believe, there's a little Jartan up there.
yeah.
Parking his Range Rover.
So
no,
look, background.
he's going big rig.
He's got the full 18-wheeler up a tree.
A little background, everybody, but Jartan sent us a video about how much he hates snow. And so I don't know what snow is because I live in Southern California. So Mikey brought me to the snow, the Norwegian snow.
I don't know what
Fjords.
snow is because I live in Southern California.
I don't know
Oh my
what
god,
snow
it's
is.
so hot. It's 80 degrees. Oh my god, it's so cold. It's 79 degrees.
That's you guys all fucking year.
How's that smoke working out for you?
You better bottle some of that smoke for the winter time.
All I hear is complaining, guys. All I hear is complaining.
And we have a special guest. We finally dragged the bottom of the barrel. We cleaned all the honey pots and all.
Can I just caveat the word special, please? That's Mikey's words, not the BIN podcast.
We have a guest. A guest is here.
Well, we don't have Jartan, our co-host, and then Tim apparently
It's
decides
too cool for
that
us.
we're not important enough. So yes, we had to go through our third rank. So
The third Reich.
Brenna!
Look for the Third Reich.
I did not say that.
They found me.
Third rank.
Well,
Considering what you were talking about on your show last night.
well, that was the Bin Podcast. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Wow, we made it a whole 5 minutes this week. 5 minutes, a new record. But
Yeah.
Jason Dutch is here. What's up, Dutch? Tell everybody who you is and what you do.
I am Jason Dutch. I am one of the founders of Dig Out America. I work with fucking Mikey.
Mikey.
Fucking
Like, yeah.
nightmare. I am
Work
not
with fucking
trying to
Mikey.
be, I am not trying to be cool with sunglasses on. I woke up like an hour ago and my eyes are like full of allergies, so the light is fucking with me. So I'm wearing this so that I don't keep rubbing my eyes.
You look like a dad at you look like a dad at a little league game.
These are literally like the glasses that I'll wear when I coach my son's soccer. So, like, they're my key ones. Like but they're the only ones that I knew where they were at because my 6-year-old's he's autistic and he has this.
He's my favorite,
insane-
dude. He is my favorite.
He's listen to what he does. Like he'll take my sunglasses
And break them.
and like go. No, he doesn't break them. He'll randomly pick like a stuffed animal or a toy and just say that toy needs sunglasses. So he'll go put my sunglasses on some random toy around the house. I have no fucking idea what it is. Like we were at the zoo the other day and they had like they have like all the statues of animals all around like the LA Zoo. And he's like, sunglasses, please. He wants to put my sunglasses on every single statue as we walk by it. It's like this obsession that he has. We go to the giraffe thing to feed the giraffes, and he grabs my sunglasses off my head and kind of like walks away. And my 8-year-old is the only one who notices. She's like, Dad, he's going to put the sunglasses on the giraffe. It's a real life giraffe. Okay.
He's the best.
And so running over there, and he's got my sunglasses, and he's like this. He's like holding them up, and the zookeeper, I guess you'd call him, the giraffe keeper,
the giraffe, the giraffe wrangler,
the rancor keeper. Like he sees, he's like like, and I literally get him just in time. I'm like, thank you to my 8-year-old for discovering that's what he was going to do, because I had no idea he was going to try to put him on a real life giraffe. So
speaking of real life giraffes, I gotta do some live. Oh, look at this!
In the field.
Our field reporter has returned. All right, let me talk amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves. I gotta do some stuff now.
You gotta buy Jartan a ring light. That's the first thing.
In the car.
Yeah, your eyes not so good, huh?
The cab light's not doing well.
Jartan reminds me of when I think of Jartan, I think this is the guy who drives around in a Hummer with a Ralph Nader sticker on the back.
Wow.
He's not driving no Hummer without a grappling hook.
Mikey, I'm telling you, me, Dutch and Jartan on the show. This is like crossing all of the streams.
Yeah, something bad's gonna happen.
Someone's gonna get hurt.
Somebody's going home with a black eye.
Oh, god damn it! I locked them all because I'm smart.
Yeah, Dutch. By the way, you said you coach your son's team, but you said some strange word.
I coach his basketball and soccer team, Jartan Junior. Or Wayne. So are you gonna?
Yikes!
Are you gonna rip on me for using the word soccer? Like, that's what we call it here.
I mean,
he does for us too, so you're not special.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah,
you guys call trucks lorries. I mean, it's not our fault that you use dumb words.
We invented the language that you use, but let's carry on.
There it is. Drink, everybody.
He said it.
Through all of your imperialism,
we invented you. Blah blah blah.
We took the imperialism that you invented and we perfected it. So take that.
Exactly. You did imperialism 2.0.
It isn't for real. You call it a tractor trailer when it's actually a truck and a trailer.
There you go.
See, that's why I let it go. That's why I let it go, man. Like, a lot of our shit is stupid, so I have to let it go.
Yes, and you also call it horseback riding. Like, there's a question on what part of the horse you need to take.
Horse head riding. I don't know.
Horse head riding. Bunch of people riding on their heads, galloping full speed.
What in the world had to happen for you to make the caveat? Well, we need to put a back in there. Like, something horrible must have had to happen at some point, right?
Well, horse tummy riding wasn't really working out in our favor. The saddle was very hard to keep on. It kept falling off, you see. So we did our best. All right, let's get this.
Imagine the concussion for every time you took a stride on the horse and you're on the underside of the horse. And you just go,
yeah.
Galoot.
We're over here like, mate, your saddle's on upside down. Oh, it needs to go on the back of the
well, they should call it horseback riding then. All right, Dutch, don't do that to your camera no more because you fucked up my layout.
Horse top riding.
Leave it. Just leave your camera. God damn it. I got to do it again. Little light producing. But that was a good.
Then I got big.
That was a good segue, though. Thanks for trying, Wayne. I appreciate you.
I know. You saw where I was going, didn't you?
Yeah. It would have been great. It would have been great
if someone didn't fuck it up.
Yeah. But this is what happens. Why is? Oh, Lord have mercy. What is happening?
You mean
what is happening?
The ghost in the machine.
I love that.
The spanner within the works.
Dude, Ghost in the Shell is my shit. I haven't seen it in a while.
But what did you think of the live action remake?
With ScoJo?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't watch it. I didn't want to get my heart broken.
Yeah, you're right.
By
the way, is Tim still streaming? He seems to be paying a lot of attention to our chat right now.
I don't know, man. It's weird. Like, I hit him up, like, yo, you want to be on the show? And he's like, no. I was like, wow. You think you know a
Well,
guy?
I mean, his opening gambit was, I didn't realise that we let people like Dutch on the show.
Wow.
Yeah.
He said, "You people."
You know, when it comes to since Tim puts everything into a cheese perspective, there's only one thing I can say about Tim. For a guy who loves cheese so much, if he were a cheese, he would be American cheese. Like
Whoa.
That's a deep
the
insult,
most.
sir.
So Tim can keep on doing his own stream on his Tandy computer and playing computer
Wow.
games from the 70s.
I'm gonna quickly go on the dark web and see the bidding war that's going on about Tim putting out a hit on Dutch right now.
Yeah, the money, the bounty's up to $13. Everyone, $13. Dead or alive.
$14 and 2 boxes of vape that are banned from.
two flavored vape cartridges.
I have 2 weeks left.
Yeah, but there's also about 200 people who has offered to pay Tim just to get the contract.
Yeah.
All right, let's try this
100%.
again.
Bring that melting truck over to Europe. Sorry, Jartan, the UK.
No, I'm
Before
about to
pull me up
say.
on that semantic.
I mean, you're not really. You're just. I mean, it's nice that you have an island to live on, but it's not in Europe.
Well, technically, we still hitched because of Northern Ireland. We're kind of hanging on. We're like, just please don't let us leave. Because
We'll
because of the
behave. We'll behave.
Good Friday Agreement.
All right.
Yeah,
Why
and
can't?
Geologists have proven that in
Let's see here.
a million years, Great Britain will be part of America.
Oh, there.
No, but to be fair,
a small island off the coast of New Hampshire.
Through cultural osmosis, we have been more linked to America than we ever have been to Europe. I know more about American politics than I do about French politics. I couldn't tell you who the leader of the opposition is in France. Oh well,
France is just where people go to write about extreme ideas.
It's what's her chops Le Pen, but she's a wrong one. But I know more about American politics than I do about Irish politics. I couldn't tell you who the Taoiseach is right now. Not a chance.
Do French people even care about French politics?
Have you seen how they strike?
Yeah, they'll strike over anything.
Yeah. So when the Swedish people that we saw footage of strike and throw bicycles at buses.
Oh my god, that was so funny. Still, that's still my favorite.
Right back into his face.
Oh my god, that was so funny.
Medic!
He's got a 21 speed. Call him the SWAT team.
Jartan, just looking at Jartan's screen here, I'm getting vibes of like an anonymous video. Like he's gonna say, "We have the passwords to your fuel pipes."
We are Legion.
He's outside your house right now.
Exactly, in his tractor trailer.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
And then just in a tractor, he's in a John Deere.
Wow.
Right,
I can imagine Dr. Emma just coming into camera right now and just a little syringe in the back of Dutch's neck.
Because and she's so sweet. She's like, "Oh, hello, good morning," and just stick him in the neck.
As you pass out, I've left you a chicken.
We have fresh eggs. So now that my share screen is finally deciding to do something right with itself, the U.S. is out. We didn't want to be there anyway. First of all,
we're talking about the World Cup, by the way, people.
Yes, FIFA.
In Qatar. Qatar, whatever.
Qatar.
Tomato.
No, you yell at me every time I say you live in. What do I say? Like if I call you British opposed to English opposed to UK, like you have your little thingies.
No, I do that just to wind you up. It means absolutely nothing to me.
But you are British.
I'm a human that lives on an island landmass over here. There you go.
They call it British.
Wayne in the UK. Wayne from the UK.
Wayne from Basildon. There you go.
Wayne from Basildon.
Basildon.
Basildon. Look! Don't you throw Twerk and Morty's or Rick's on here to try to get back on our good side? You left us. You left us with
Cheese.
Dutch.
Bring me cheese.
Yeah, bring Brenna the cheese, please. Cheese, please.
Melted.
But yeah, the UK is gonna lose, or England's gonna lose. What is that? The 10th. So they'll lose the 10th. Saturday in the park. I think it was the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Chicago reference. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you. But no one really cares about football, soccer, whatever you call it. It's all about women's professional basketball, and we have been given a very special treat just in time for the holidays.
And I'm proud that today we have made one more family whole again. So welcome home, Brittney. And now I'd like to invite Sherelle to say a few words to all. Of course, she's not excited at all about this. Sherelle, it's all yours, kiddo.
Biden is.
Congratulations again.
What?
Can someone
Congratulations, he
speed him
says.
up?
Say again? I didn't hear you.
And I said, can someone just speed him up? He
Oh, they need to put him on 1.25 speed.
he's like the,
You know
like
what?
the least infused about something that's so great.
Joe, look, I'm not one to be an ageist, but Joe, pick something with the hair, man. Like go bald or
Nah,
something.
man.
Because
He's hanging on.
He's like
By a
he's got
strand.
the Ebenezer Scrooge vibes going on.
No. This angle here. Do you remember the original
worst.
old guy from Poltergeist where he takes his hat? Hello, dear. I'm just here to make friends.
Do you remember Jeff Dunham, like the comedian who did like the the ventriloquist dummies?
Oh,
He looks like Walter. He looks just like all he needs is like that little scowl, and then he's fucking there.
Thank you. So over the last 9 months, you all have been.
There's a right winger out there somewhere right now saying, "Look at Kamala Harris, planning to upset our democracy with her proud face. I hate her." Like someone's
look at she's standing on the left.
Yeah, typical. Typical.
So
She's
privy
so
to
woke.
one of the darkest moments of my life, and so today I'm just standing here, overwhelmed with emotions. But the most important emotion that I have right now is just sincere gratitude for President Biden and his entire administration. He just mentioned this work is not easy, and it has not been. There's been so many hands involved, and so I'd like to take a moment to just specifically mention a few.
Yeah, we're not gonna listen to all that. Sorry, girl.
Yeah, I was gonna say, one of them hands was Joe
Anyway.
Biden.
One of those hands belong to Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, your football references aren't gonna go far here. Sorry, brother. Gotta read the room.
So you have had a prisoner exchange with a female WNBA player.
Yeah,
Is that correct?
Lady Shack.
And a gun trafficker.
International.
Oh, is that I was literally just gonna ask, like, who did we trade for her? Like, so this is the problem. Brittney Griner committed no crime. Nothing. She did absolutely nothing.
She turned up when you were stinking vapes. That's what she did. You see?
Except, well, yeah, but that wasn't why she got the punishment she got. She got the punishment she got because she happens to be famous and a member of the LGBTQ community. Other than that, she would not have gotten this stiff of a penalty. And we traded someone for her who is like a legitimate fucking criminal. I'm sure. I don't even know who it is. I haven't seen this. I didn't know she was released until just now. I'm super happy she was. But like the idea that this is a prisoner exchange is absolutely lunacy. Speaking
of lunacy, let's see here. It's a little bit out. Bout is his last name. It's like Victor Bout. The Russian businessman who speaks 6 languages, Jesus Christ.
I bet he does.
Was arrested
money.
Was arrested in a sting operation in 2008 led by the U.S. Drug Enforcement agents in Thailand, posing as the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, known as the acronym FARCE. Oh, come on. You guys did. No fucking. No way. They fell for the farce. Oh my God. You named the sting farce? No.
That's ballsy,
No.
though.
No.
That's
You
pure
named
balls.
the sting farce and they still fell for it.
That's balls right there. That's testing goals.
The fact that the DEA can carry out such operations in an international fucking landmass, another sovereign country, is a fucking anathema in itself.
He speaks 6 languages and he couldn't recognize that it said fucking farce. Oh, Jesus.
Taiwan should be a sovereign country. Not sure they are.
They're all sitting there in the tea room going, right, lads. Seriously, right, let's try and get him. This cunt thinks he can speak 6 languages. Let's see if we can get this one. A-R-C-E. Right, go. Soppy mug, we've nicked him.
I can't believe that worked. It was like they literally put like a box with a stick holding it up, and he went into the box and moved the stick. We didn't even put the bait. We forgot to put the bait in there.
They just put a brick on top.
Got him.
He was eventually extradited to the U.S. in 2010 after a protracted court proceeding. Victor Bauta has been international arms trafficking enemy number 1 for many years, arming some of the most violent conflicts around the globe, says Preet Bharara, the U.S. attorney in Manhattan, when Bout was sentenced in New York in 2012. So yeah, that's mostly why it took so long, y'all. It wasn't like we do prisoner swaps all the fucking time. But Russia wanted his ass.
Yeah.
Joe had to be like, woo. Brittney, hold on, Brittney, let me think. Damn, Brittney, let me think.
Well, because it is so one-sided. I mean, obviously, there's a huge difference between an international arms dealer and a basketball star that had vape cartridges. This is Russia. They love humiliating the Western world, and they just humiliated us.
Yep.
And there are obviously they talked about another prisoner that was still in Russia for espionage that the U.S. has denied that they were a spy, and they wanted him as well as in exchange 1 for 2, one international arms dealer for 2 prisoners, and Russia said no. They said you get Brittney Griner or you get nobody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we should start doing is we should start looking at this. The U.S. government needs to start looking to like the NFL and the Major League Baseball.
Look at this mug. Look at this guy.
Them draft picks.
Look at this fucking guy, dude. Look at this fucking guy. Holy shit.
He just looks shady.
That's a Bond villain.
But we can start trading them like draft picks of like, we'll give you a prisoner to be named later that we'll arrest sometime down the road.
Right.
You know, like,
you get 2 get out of jail free cards.
Yeah.
Yowzers. Well,
yeah.
I'm glad she's coming home.
I'm glad she's back. It sucks that it took this long. It sucks that it had to be an international arms dealer for her, but it had to be done.
More people.
It had to be done. Yeah. It just there was no choice.
Lose.
Mm-hmm. So everybody got what they wanted in the end.
And this is not something unique to the Biden administration. So when the right wing starts to spin that, oh, look, they just traded a arms dealer who's going to kill people for a woman who hates America, which is what they're going to say.
Yeah.
Then, there's a long history here of both sides of the aisle doing the exact same thing. So it's something we don't condone at all.
It's okay. We don't care what the right wing says over here. We just let them talk.
No, all you got to do is get your Tucker Carlson face ready.
Oh.
Just got to be confused.
90%
of the time you have to be confused about.
You mean the resting concussion face?
We should have traded him Tucker Carlson. That was a good trade. Like we'll give you
At some point, we should just give him Trump because Trump's gonna run away anyway.
Oh my God! So I really hate Facebook, but I really love Facebook sometimes because sometimes Facebook hits it out of the fucking park. I forgot that my buddy made a meme of do you remember in Game of Thrones when what's his name? Ramsey had dude and he's like, "Come on, what's your name?" Reek. And he made him call him Reek, and it was a picture of Trump and fucking Putin. He's like, "Tell him your name." Reek. I'll reshare it on our fucking Twitter. Delicious memeage. But speaking of delicious, we got delicious.
I'm back, baby.
What?
Tim brought us melted cheese.
Tim's back. Hold on.
Here.
Let me add you. You're not in the show yet.
I'm here so you can all stop talking about me now.
You don't tell us what to not talk about.
Who?
No thanks.
Who? What?
Talk about you. We'll just talk to your face.
We'll talk to your face.
Unless there is a grilled cheese sandwich in my hand right now, you do not count.
I am very amused.
Ladies and gentlemen,
5 cheese.
Tim Pool.
5 cheese.
I am very amused.
Tim Pool is here.
Go ahead,
Tim
Jordan.
thinks that we'll stop talking about him just because he's here.
Right.
We never do that.
No, we double down.
That's right.
Actually gets worse.
We don't apologize around here.
Yeah.
1, the nays are 36. The bill, as amended, has passed.
Mr. President, what a great day. What a great day.
Dun, 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 dun,
The Senate is
dun.
passing the Respect for Marriage Act. Today, the long but inexorable march towards greater equality advances forward. No matter who you are or who you love, you too deserve dignity and equal treatment under the law. As the Chamber knows, this is personal to me, and the first people I will call when this bill passes will be my daughter and her wife.
I want to thank.
So
now he cares.
Well, I think this is a good day. This is a good day. This is a win. And I'm going to count it as a win. What say y'alls? The marriage equality has been put on the books and cannot be tampered with now.
Well, it kind of can because it's not a constitutional amendment.
It'll
right?
be there
So, like,
forever.
It can be unwound.
Roe versus Wade.
No, Roe versus Wade was a court case. Yeah, it was a court case, so that can be overturned by the Supreme Court. You can challenge like a law that Congress passes. They still have to hold up to, the whatever criteria that it's challenged on in the eyes of the Supreme Court. But I would imagine at some point they'll try to fight this. But it is a really, really good day because this is like 4 decades overdue. Now let's concentrate on the ERA and keep pushing the ball forward.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not massively. I was going to say something quite insulting, but joking about your
typical way
about your throw a 6 to start political system, but I'm not, because I'm not 100% au fait with it. But when I heard the Roe versus Wade verdict, and I thought, well, hang on a minute, I thought that was the Supreme Court cast down upon that and said, no, that's gone. Now, what is to stop the Supreme Court? Did the Supreme Court pass this legislation so it can't be changed?
So the Supreme Court's job is to challenge laws and their constitutionality. So nothing stops them from doing that.
Right. They can do it tomorrow, and they probably will. They'll file a lawsuit in some state tomorrow, and it might not get to the Supreme Court, but it will. It'll definitely be a challenge.
That's where my confusion lies, because I thought that the whole Roe versus Wade thing, and that was in was it 64 or something like that?
70.
Oh, I'm well out.
Yeah, 72 maybe. 72, I think.
No, it was later 70s, 74, 75. Yeah.
So because I thought that was in place, and like everyone was cushy about that, and then all of a sudden the Supreme Court gets another right wing nut job in, and they just tip it bollocks, which made me think, well, what is the point in having this system where you have unelected people that are lifetime appointments that can just overrule anything that is democratically put in place with regards to, like, it seems ridiculous. Even our House of Lords can't do that.
So the constitutional answer is checks and balances. Like that was the entire reason that the court has its judicial review power. Unfortunately, the court is and has never been any sort of objective when it comes to politics.
Nope.
So,
and it's gotten worse and worse and worse over the last few decades, especially since Reagan. It's just it's become what we call extremism, and this is what we have seen from what Trump had done, and the Federalist Society has caused this, and this is the whole point. So Roe versus Wade was like the first thing, and then they're just going to keep striking down separations of church and state. They're going to start separating, women's rights, LGBTQ rights, interracial marriage. These are the things that are going to be struck down, because they're going to look at it from a perspective of it's not in the Constitution. This, what is it called? Originalism. If it's not in the Constitution when it originally came, then it can't exist.
Okay, so see,
which is stupid, because the whole point of the Constitution is that you can change it for the needs of what is happening.
See,
so
that's
originalism is bullshit. That's all I have to say.
That's what I think. Like you guys have fucked up in the sense of this is, again, please don't take it as a personal attack. This is just me looking at it.
How
dare you?
Cut him off. We're done with it.
I know how you Americans get. You're gonna start firing your pistols in your air and all that shit. We don't have a written constitution, which means it can be amended at any time through the democratic process. Whereas you have these written constitutions, written amendments, that are kind of, people are absolutist about them. Like, you can't change the Second Amendment according to some people.
You can.
But
you can amend amendments. We did it. We did it twice.
The word is amendment. But the problem is, people see amendments in America as gospels.
Right.
That's because they were written by God, Wayne.
Yeah, they were brought down by Jesus.
Jesus was American.
Brought the Constitution and handed it to the founding fathers.
Wayne,
on this shoulder had the Ten Commandments on tablets. On this, he had
documented proof of this.
I know that people on the other side of the pond are unable to see that America is the house on the hill that was created by God for God's people. But it's an objective fact, Wayne. You have to just deal with it.
Wayne, I can give you a perfect example of how the Supreme Court fucked up, and then had to get right with the times. So, before the American Civil War, the Supreme Court ruled the wrong way on the Dred Scott case. The Chief Justice Roger B. Taney basically wrote an opinion that said black people don't have the rights of people because they're property.
Mm-hmm.
Then the
the 13th Amendment.
No amendments. It was just the Supreme Court decision.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the country basically went to war over that. Like, people stopped, just before the Civil War, people stopped abiding by Supreme Court rulings because they felt the Supreme Court was so out of step that no one was listening to the Chief Justice. And then the Civil War happened. They got a new Chief Justice. And then the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments were passed at the end of the Civil War. But the Supreme Court ruled that black people were property right before the Civil War happened.
Right.
So the Supreme Court had to get right with the times after people got right with the times.
Is there any way that the Supreme Court can be overruled in the democratic process that you have over there?
Yes. So the legislature can pass amendments to overrule the Supreme Court.
Right.
So the way that
above their head, so to speak.
Yeah. The way that we pass amendments in America is it's either it's either 2/3 of both houses of Congress or a constitutional convention where 3/5 of the states have to ratify the amendment. The second one has never been done. It's always been passed through the Congress.
Yeah. So if that's the case, then what is the point of the Supreme Court if they are lifetime appointees to that position and they can't be voted out, but their opinion will still stay until the day that they die?
So
That's not very democratic.
the people who wrote the Constitution purposefully left the Supreme Court's section very vague and short. Because the Supreme Court was seen.
Like, lads, we've had enough of this. This is fucking.
Well, the only power they have is judicial review. That's the only power the Supreme Court has. But everything else was left very vague. So at that time, the Supreme Court was seen as the weakest of the three branches. And actually,
as is our House of Lords. Our House of Lords is the weakest of politics.
Actually, the legislature was always seen as the strongest branch because they had the power of the purse. Like the president, up until I would say World War II, was sort of secondary to the House Speaker.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but they certainly gave between the 1930s, really during FDR, the president got a lot more power than Congress deferred power to the executive branch during this window that probably started in the late 20s and went all the way through the 70s.
But that was extenuating circumstances, wasn't it? That was kind of like we need to put a figurehead on this and we need to rally around this, and the amount of propaganda and the amount of stuff that was happening around that particular time to get people to do the bidding of their betters, if you will, meant that it's massively documented. Edward Bernays was one of the ones over here. Even George Orwell over here was charged with propagandizing the nation to make sure that you defer your power to people that you have not elected, but it's for the benefit of the greater good, if you will. So I think that little period of our history is where we slipped into something that we didn't expect to, because all our thing was the war effort. You stop making cars. Like look at like how revered Americana is in the 50s and 60s post-war. Like, we don't have to make tanks anymore. We can make sexy cars.
Well, I mean, we were also like the only major industrialized nation still standing. Like that was our advantage, is that the rest of the world had been bombed into oblivion.
And that was kind of exactly that's what we did. Was we were like, okay, we'll send things over there and we'll send things over there and keep it off of our soil.
Correct.
And thus we became this pillar of look how great we are in the war. Like we won the war because we helped you guys. Like the only reason why you were able to reconstruct yourself was because of us. That's the whole idea.
Yeah, Wayne.
Yeah.
We saved your ass twice.
Do you think
twice?
We dragged your ass in twice. Do you think that's why that particular period of Americana, as it's called, is so lionized in the sense of like, you had rocket ships and the World Fair and all that kind of stuff that happened like post-war, and everyone arcs back, like especially right wingers, they always arc back to that period of American
and the Stark Expo. Don't forget about the Stark.
Yeah, don't forget about the Stark Expo. Well, the thing is we had a lot of like former German scientists working for us now, and
former Nazi scientists.
Yeah, and
we gave them shelter because they were smart.
They needed a cuddle.
Once again, we were the.
Speaking of cuddles.
Oh, transition.
I got a sketch. How about that?
Oh, look at that.
How about that? I got bad news for you, Mr. Dutch. You will not ascend the Tiger King's throne because Big Cats, which is the name of this article from the BBC, or as Wayne likes to say, the BBC.
The big black cat.
The BBC.
The big black cat, baby. U.S.
Did they
Senate.
grandfather him in?
U.S. Senate unanimously passes bill to curb private ownership of those big old kitties. A bill to restrict the private ownership of big cats like lions and tigers in the U.S. has passed by unanimous consent in the Senate. The Big Cat Public Safety Act, would stop people from keeping the animals as pets and from being exposed to public petting and photo opportunities. Efforts to curb private ownership have increased in the wake of the Netflix documentary series Tiger King. Now, someone wake up Joe so he can sign it. But what?
You know what's what's funny
man.
is the
It's
U.S. Senate.
Thursday.
The U.S. Senate doing unanimous consent means that they chose not to debate and they chose to sign it basically immediately. Like they all voted, everyone was like, "Okay, we're going to pass this." Like when does the Senate ever do that ever?
Never.
Only on relatively meaningless legislation like this one.
No, I bet you that. I bet you
meaningful to the animals, but
I bet you they were all stuck in the house because of lockdown, the shelter in place. And that goddamn Tiger King showed up. And they're like, "This has to stop.
We gotta stop
This has got to stop. We have to do something."
Cultural revolution has got to end.
It should have stopped when they saw that cunt's haircut.
You don't like the mullet?
No.
Wasn't the other thing that they did, Tim, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the only other thing that they did by unanimous consent was the daylight savings.
Yeah, I think so. Like it's very rare that stuff gets done by unanimous consent because everyone has like their pet thing they want to avoid or oppose. Like everyone has to get together in a room and say, "Okay, guys, is there anyone against this? No, good, we're done." Like that's it. And they have like an hour of debate, I think, and then they're done.
This is really interesting. According to the estimates from conservationists, as many as 7,000 tigers are living in the U.S., either in zoos or privately owned. Nearly double the estimated 3,890 tigers living in the wild worldwide.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we've all the tigers in fucking captivity.
Yeah, we've actually had some, celebrity owners of tigers and other exotic animals, not too far from where I am, in their houses. In the houses. So yeah, it would be nice to stop that from happening.
Yeah, didn't Michael Jackson actually have a farm in Neverland?
He had a petting zoo.
He had a whole.
Yeah, he had a whole thing.
It was a whole amusement park.
Yeah.
Which did include having some sort of zoo like situation. So.
And then
I don't know that Michael Jackson walked around with it on a leash, though, right? Like I think he had like at least cages. I'm guessing they were qualified people.
Leave it, Wayne.
Caretaking for that, but
leave it, Wayne. Leave it. Don't do it, Wayne.
Drink it.
Move on, Mikey. Move on.
What's it called? I know Mike Tyson used to have Mike Tyson used to have a tiger.
That's where I was going.
Yeah.
Well, so Mikey, is this?
What do little tigers dream about? Yeah.
I can't read the words in the story, but I'm wondering: is this only banning future purchases, or is it going to regulate people who already own these animals?
That's a good question.
Under the new bill, possession of lions, tigers, leopards, snow leopards, jaguars, cougars, or any hybrid of these species will be limited to wildlife sanctuaries, universities, and certified zoos. Those on display Those on display would need to be kept at least 15 feet, 4.5 meters for Wayne, away from the public or behind a barrier to prevent contact. However, current owners of big cats will be allowed to keep their animals as long as they don't allow direct contact between them and the public and register them with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service.
I see. So they're not taking Tiger King's tigers.
Well, they gotta change their whole setup. Like they're not gonna be able to just like have 5 acres of land, buy a tiger, and then let people come pet the tiger.
Yeah.
I see.
Don't
not
pet
a good idea.
Don't pet the kitty.
If they don't register, the federal government could come in.
Yeah, no.
Whose
man is that has to go? They're like, all right, man, I know you're with pest control, but I have a cat in this house. I need you to go get it. Right. And he comes in there with the little loop of rope on a stick. He's like, all right, come here, kitty. Come here, puss.
Mikey, by the way, if you want to know what 4.5 meters is, put 2 Mandos nose to nose.
I don't need to take your abuse.
How many cubits is that?
It's a fathom. 1 fathom.
I don't know, but it's about 16 bars of gold pressed latinum.
I'm kind of surprised because Because Wayne, he counts weight in stone, so height should be like boulders or something.
Right. Leaves.
Hold up. I am not having this conversation with this. I am not having this conversation with this cunt from who's beyond the wall.
North of the wall.
So it's 5.40, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is about
America, we're gonna start measuring
two
things.
Mando lengths.
You're gonna leave Mando out of
things
this.
by Cheddar Bay biscuits here in the United States. Just like it's 11 Cheddar Bay biscuits away.
Cheddar Bay biscuits just sounds like diabetes in a line.
Hey Wayne,
They're
you're
the
not
one
wrong.
thing everyone agrees is amazing.
There's a meme out there where it's like somebody found a like the article says alligator the size of Ariana Grande was found. It's like Americans will use any other measurement.
Anything but metric. Anything but metric. And measure. That's how we always. I mean, that's how you measure all large reptiles. In Ariana Grande's. Yes. Speaking of celebrities.
Actor Kirk Cameron says he's unable to read his new faith-based book at libraries.
The former Growing Pains star is taking issue that some of the libraries turning him away host similar story hour events with drag queens. Kelsey Kernstein is here with reaction from both sides.
Good morning, you guys.
That camera is way too close to her.
No, it ain't.
Well, Kirk Cameron says 50 libraries have passed on his books.
She's like in my office. Like, why is she so close? Like, get back, lady.
I'm just gonna full screen.
Let me zoom. How do I zoom out? Get off me, girl.
Look at my glasses.
Girl, back up. I'm married.
Wayne's like, she's not close enough.
Celebrating faith, family, and biblical wisdom.
Biblical wisdom.
Today,
Pause real quick. What is this channel? Because are they trying to pretend they're Good Morning America by calling themselves Morning America? What is this channel? Is this a faith-based channel?
I don't know, Dutch. I'm just making fun of it.
By the way, before you carry on, you didn't say anything about his face being too close to me. What's your problem?
Yeah, they did zoom in too close with him now. Yeah, and she kind of just like popped up like in between like what I was expecting to be the shot and thing. Hi, wifey. How you doing? The wifey is home.
Wifey realized that there was a woman getting close to the room, so she popped in there.
She got radar.
What's going on in here?
She
was like, so I'm not a threat? Is that what's happening right now?
You're gonna join. You guys will be sister wives soon enough.
Pretty much.
Brenna. If I had a melted cheese sandwich right here, yes, you'd be a threat.
Anyways.
Feeling rejected over a stalled book tour. The actor says libraries are denying or not responding to his request to appear at public reading events for kids.
Oh my God, he got left on red by a library. That is the most ironic thing I've ever
What a snowflake.
He got left on red by the library. I got to put that in a bar. That's hard.
Hey,
according to the book's publisher,
Mikey, you're missing the low-hanging fruit here. He was left behind.
Oh. All right, we're done.
That's why we have Dutch here.
Yeah, that's Dutch's favorite movie. I haven't seen it before, so I didn't make that reference.
I did like that movie when I was like young.
Okay.
Left Behind was great. I did. Yeah.
And when you were young, it was black and white.
Wow. You know, I wasn't gonna make that joke.
We have to get through this clip.
According to the book's publisher, As You Grow follows the life of a tree starting from an acorn while teaching biblical truths along the way.
It's called As You Grow.
Truths?
Wayne, what do you see back there?
I see. Where am I looking?
Look at this dusty nylon guitar back here, as if he plays,
as
if he plays it.
That is a fucking ornament.
He has never tuned that thing.
I guarantee you pluck them strings.
It sound like the aliens
sure
from fucking episode 1.
Kirk Cameron actually is a talent. I believe I've seen him perform.
Just
before.
because
I
he's
think
your
he is
fucking
actually
boyfriend
musician.
doesn't mean I'm not going to make fun of his dusty ass guitar.
Yeah, but he can't admit that in public though, so don't talk about that on.
You're right.
Let's judge properly.
Hold on. One second.
No,
We have a proper guitar virtuoso, a real guitar expert. Shartan, can you see the screen? Can you see this guitar over here? You see this guy? Do you think that's actually been played?
That's a 3/4 size from the looks of things.
It looks a bit small.
I can't see
ukulele.
Right. So before you continue with this clip,
on the left,
he's all right, Spider-Man. On the left,
on your left.
Sorry, on the left.
It's okay. He got the reference wrong too. It's fine.
I know. I did. I'm so sorry.
All right,
Yeah,
we gotta keep watching this. It's
yeah.
it's perfect.
Carry on.
Jartan, do you think he's played that thing?
It's been played.
Guys,
It has been played.
It has?
talking about books here.
Okay.
To develop moral character and the fruits of the spirit through the various seasons of life.
What the fuck? There's owls and leopards? Jeez,
Oh, man,
this is
leopard
a nightmare. Leopard people? Is that in the Bible?
Because they tend to sort of, live together. Leopards and owls.
The chimera owl people. What the fuck?
We're gonna cut to our special contributor in the street, Ken Ham. What have you to say?
In a recent interview, Cameron says hundreds of parents and librarians are now emailing him saying, "We want your book and we want to
False. No one emails.
host our own Brave Book Story Hour in our public library."
Citation
Cameron, who is
needed.
now 52,
Right.
has spent more than a decade
Please cite
promoting
your
Christian
resources.
evangelism, going as far as calling homosexuality unnatural back in 2012. He later rejected any claims of hatred, saying his life's mission is to love all people. In this latest debate, Cameron called out libraries for what he says is a double standard for refusing his appearance requests while hosting so-called drag queen story hours. And it said
I guarantee if the gentleman sausage was presented to this man, he would be all over it.
This is a false equivalency, and this is one of those trigger stories. I knew this was going to go this way. Drag queens read to kids. They did not go in there reading their own books to kids. They went in there and read like Dr. Seuss. Kirk Cameron is mad because he can't read a specific book. He has not been told that he cannot read a book to kids. He has been told he cannot read a specific book to kids.
That's oppression.
This is completely different.
And also, this is also a thing. He's citing drag queen story hours specifically. You can go to pretty much any library and find any librarians reading to children all the time.
I did
He's
it.
not citing just reading to children. He is specifically citing drag queen story hour as a way to get his right-wing evangelicals to cry for him. Like,
Mikey,
this is the whole point.
All right. But we've just had the exact same discussion. Like, I'm literally the exact same discussion where parents are saying, we're going to boycott this drag queen story hour because there's actually been a Swedish version of that going, from library to library and selling tickets and all that. And it's been constantly sold out for the 5 years they've been doing it. Like, it's been entirely sold out. And you also know one thing, it's fucking voluntary, right? You don't have to go there. You don't have to open that door just to yell, I don't like this. Nobody fucking cares. Buy a ticket and look the other way. Walk the fuck off. Nobody fucking cares.
Hang on a minute. We're going there to have fun.
Clip that.
And we're paying to have fun.
Who cares?
There you go. Mikey, get your Richter scale on.
Got it.
Turn it on. Right.
It's on.
Ready? I agree with Dutch.
I was going to say, as much as it pains me to say this, Dutch is correct.
Oh no! What the fuck, guys?
As usual.
Listen to him, as usual.
Right.
Oh, there it is.
Let's not go that far. Let's not go that far.
No. The fact that you haven't shown any humility there says, nah, you're a cunt.
That's also true.
You give him an inch and he takes a stone.
Exactly.
Ricky, get out. We're done.
Both imperial measurements, by the way.
How many
But,
Ariana Grandes do I get?
Yeah,
what Kurt?
I'm pretty sure that Dutch just grew a whole English oak while we were talking about this.
What Kirk Cameron is doing there is trying to spark a moral outrage about him not being able to teach his Jesus book to kids.
But I
that's it.
wanna.
Tim, just to correct you, you said Jesus wrong.
Yeah, that guy.
Jesus.
Yeshua. Use his proper name, Yeshua.
Jesus.
Why you keep calling me Jesus? I look Puerto Rican to you. I fucking love that movie.
About 4 minutes and 30 minutes into the movie.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah, so basically, Kirk Cameron is crying over nobody wanting to read his stupid book.
Poor guy.
So, yeah, I feel bad. All the time.
I'm so sad about
People
that.
are going to buy his book. They'll buy his book. The right wingers will buy his book.
It'll be fine. He's just wants to conflate it to what is going on. What people are being killed for is drag queen story hour.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what he wants to market himself off of that.
Brenna, you sound so very cynical. You sound like to me that you are saying that this man is marking it in on the drag queen story hour outrage to market his own book. This is tinfoil hat stuff. How dare you?
That's not very Christian of him.
See the thing that people forget about, like when you have
Dre,
and it doesn't have to be drag queens. It could be any group of people. Like
nothing on that. Damn.
A long time ago, it could have been that you had an African American person or even nowadays a Muslim person reading to children. What you do is you humanize that individual. You make them seem less different, less weird. There is nothing about because as far as society goes, I'm older. I can tell you for sure.
Yes,
that,
you are.
This stuff was viewed by me because society influenced me to think that certain things were weird, right? And I had to come and like deprogram myself from a lot of stuff that was taught to me by the system. And Kirk Cameron has never been in any group that would have been looked at with sideways by kids. But when you put people from different groups in front of another group and you say, hey, look, this is a person, a human being who bleeds and has emotions and feelings and value, and you get to see them as that rather than this caricature that the media will tell you that they are. That is why they do that, to just let people be treated with dignity. Kirk Cameron is at no risk of not being viewed just at first glance with dignity. So he's a fucking piece of shit for spinning the story this way.
Yeah. And we just did a few weeks ago similar explanation on how his sister Candace left the Lifetime Christmas channel to start her own because they had the one gay couple on it, and she was done with that. So I mean, they're just trying to keep themselves relevant in the storyline, but it's weird. I don't understand.
May I ask a question of our guest? I would say esteemed guest, but he's here.
Go on then.
Who?
So, like, we've obviously interacted over the years. How right wing were you before you kind of?
Oh, not as much as what you've seen today by any stretch. I wasn't even overtly political. Right. Like my parents always voted Republican. They're very evangelical. They're very dipped in their faith. And because of that, I also was. And they just told me that certain things were true. And I just, believed that they were true. Like they told me that, the Republican way is the right way. So like, why would my parents, and like, I love my mom and dad, right? Like, they were awesome parents. Socially, they've got some things that they need to work on. But as far as them being parents to me, I was outrageously blessed by having such wonderful people be my parents as parents. So like if they tell you, Jason, like one thing my mom had said to me, and I don't even know if she even believed, but she was like, well, we're moving to a town and, there's a high Hispanic population there. And I was like, okay. And I was like, is there black people that live there? Because the town that I lived in before in Crete was very heavily African-American, was probably like 50% white, 50% black. And most of my friends were black kids. And she was like, no, I don't think blacks and Mexicans get along. So like, she said that because she believed it. So then at that moment, I was probably like 11. I then believed it. I was like, okay, well, my mom just said black people, Mexican people don't get along. So that must be true because she said it, back in like 1987 or whatever it was. So like those types of things are like where it was at, right? So like they told me that Reagan was the greatest president ever. So I believe that they were. Why would they lie to me? Until you go back and you find out that those things are not necessarily true.
Was there ever a moment that you actually went, fuck, this is all bollocks? Do you know what I mean? Did you ever like
yeah, there was.
Go, the stuff that I've been told and propagated by, propagandized by, is just absolute nonsense.
There was a few moments. The first one was probably when I was in high school, and I graduated in 92, so I'm guessing at some point in time during the early 90s, there was a deep conversation in the country about access to healthcare. And I was like, well, what's wrong with having like at least people under 18 and people over 65 having access to a universal healthcare system, right? I was like, well, maybe we just work between the time that we're 20 and 60, and then we earn our healthcare and everybody else gets healthcare for free. And my parents were like, oh no, you can't do that. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense because it seems to, that's not right. We're ignoring people. And then after a while, really it became, then I went through the demonization of Clinton, which that kind of turned me on a little bit because I'm like, why is this guy being demonized for like having sex? That makes no sense.
How much did it turn you on?
Finally,
I knew there'd be someone.
Oh my God.
The last two were Kaepernick, right? Kaepernick was a big one for me in 2015. And then, of course, Trump coming down the escalator. So,
I mean, Kaepernick turns me on, but that's
him out there running around the field with them running around the field in the little crop top that all the NFL players are into now. The little crop. I'm like, look at these little 80s boys.
He's a California
I've got
boy.
my red card. I've got my goalie glove.
It.
Just gonna hold my goalie gloves up.
Yeah.
I'm just literally so fucking confused over all the things that I've learned today. First of all, there is no, inherent reason why Dutch is such a fucking bellend, and he's actually graduated in high school. I'm flabbergasted.
In college.
I don't know what to say.
Ooh.
The Viper's still got his sting.
Learn something new every day.
Can we rename this show Dutch's Redemption?
The redemption arc.
Let me tell the truth here. I got to spin this story the way Fox News would have me say it.
Truthiness.
I graduated from college in 2013, so I went late. So when I entered college in 2008, I was a Republican, and when I came out of college in 2008,
see?
I was a raging leftist.
The liberals. The liberals got him.
There you go. There you
so
go.
Stay in school, kids.
That's really funny because
stay in school, don't do drugs.
When I got back from college, because I went to Santa Cruz, and like the first semester I came back, because like I'm in Orange County, California, like Republican Central. All my mom's friends, like all their children came back and they all turned Republican, and I came back and I was even more liberal than I was when I left. And they're like, "What did you do?" And I go, "Well, I went to Santa Cruz. I got knowledge." Like
I learned some stuff.
Like I actually learned more.
I got learned and everything.
From here.
Speaking of somebody who got learned. Speaking of somebody who got learned.
The finger pointing is fierce. In an election year when it should have been a referendum on the current administration and their policies, the Democrats in many cases were able to kind of turn it into a choice election because of Trump's presence. And we have no.
Oh, listen to the whinging and the bitching. Oh.
I just want to applaud that they finally figured it out.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't tell people not to vote by mail and then get upset when we lost because we didn't vote by mail. I mean, I wonder how they could have gotten those ideas. I wonder where those came from.
We're going to have to talk about
it was Bill O'Reilly or somebody, right? That said that, like, oh, we should have voted early and vote by mail because this is what happens.
Not what you're mad about.
We're very disappointed. We didn't get our vote out for sure.
Our great reporters back around the table with us. That was sort of
yeah. Cut to the good part.
Senators there. Voters who voted for Brian Kemp, the Republican governor. That tells you we have a
trailer
problem, right?
park.
Voters who are available to Brian Kemp. Even
Let's go to Lot 7. See our girl.
He did much better.
Our homegirl from Lot 7.
Why aren't they voting? Marjorie Taylor Greene says,
yeah,
it's not Trump. It's because they wouldn't let people like me help her.
The audacity and really the frank rudeness of the campaign consultants and Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham, where they thought, we're going to keep Marjorie Taylor Greene away from Herschel Walker, and we don't need her voice at his campaign rallies and events where we're campaigning all over the state, I think is a really major mistake and an insult to me.
Shut the fuck up. She would not win in any other district in Georgia. She wouldn't. She's in maybe one of 2 districts in Georgia where she would win. Fuck her. She could not win a statewide election. You know how you know that she won't win a statewide election? You know how you know that she won't win a statewide election? Because she's not going to run for one.
No.
Because she knows
she's going to be comfortable where she is. That's it.
But I just want to go to her district to see the people who votes for somebody who has the name of a serial killer, and every time she opens her mouth, my penis fucking tries to go back into
burrow its way into my abdomen.
Justin, you're completely correct. A double barrel name is always a serial killer.
So I'm just trying to figure out, like, what was your rationale when you figured out, like, this is the way that I want to go and vote, and you actually put her name on a piece of paper without voting, and you actually handed that to some official
without shame. That's the thing, is you hand it in without shame. Like, this is who I came to vote for. Like, people did that.
Hold on, I gotta hear it one more time.
And they continue doing that the next time.
I gotta hear it one more time. It's so fucking sweet. It's so good.
Audacity and really the frank rudeness.
How dare them?
The campaign
She is one step away from fucking calling the manager of the fucking Republican Party. Like, she is one step away.
Consultants and Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham, where they thought, we're going to keep Marjorie Taylor Greene away from Herschel Walker, and we don't need her voice.
That's probably for her own safety.
I was just gonna say that. I was just going to say it's actually improving her.
Yeah, you're lucky. They didn't want you to get messed up with Herschel.
No, we were trying to
we didn't want Herschel to have to pay for her next.
Right, like he got a lot of campaign money left over in the coffer.
Let's pay homage to that decent Mike that had to deal with her fucking foul breath. Because that's coffee and cigarettes.
She's the most obtuse fucking personality that
what is that? Hold on. I have a good joke line here. You guys, I want you guys to tell me, what does that microphone smell like? I want 2 things, and I need an adjective in the middle.
Ooh.
Oh man! All right.
A rundown AK-47 rifle.
Sambuca laced pepperami.
Oh God!
Oh God!
Oh Jesus! Down, Wayne.
Does laced count as the
adjective?
She just dips it in.
Oh.
She gets herself a pepperami fire stick, dips it into a sambuca. Bosh.
I would really like to see the raw footage of this when the key grip comes in after the interview in a full hazmat suit and collecting the microphone. Like, that would be good.
No, I'd like a Squid Game guard come in.
Yeah, I wanted to do that for Halloween so bad.
Oh, she's on Bannon too. Look at that. I mean, of course she is.
No. That's her friend. that she doesn't have enough friends to like branch out to
She's
the
got
world.
something. Have you seen her war chest? Have you seen how much money she raises? She raises shit tons of fucking money.
And then where does it go?
On Marlboro Lights.
She ran against. She ran against an extremely qualified candidate in Marcus Flowers, who had a big fundraising machine, and just destroyed him.
What are you gonna say, Shorten?
I think that people like serial killer Green, they
Brian Austin Green.
They rely on these. They rely on these, funds and all of that from the IRA and the NRA and all of that shit, right? It's all of these super PACs and Boston Tea Party, and because the small donors, the people that actually go and vote for this, that's not people that are employable. Like, these are the people that are sentenced to be fucking unemployed until the day they die because they've done so many horrible things on the internet that basically no employer in the world will help them again. But the money comes from corporations that has something to gain from buying the influence.
Right.
Of course.
I don't think it's not a grassroots movement. They always want to say that it's a grassroots movement.
It's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit.
It's absolute fucking bullshit because only people who benefit from having somebody like this in, I don't know, House of Representative of Congress or what the fuck ever she said.
Yeah.
It's big business who wants to do something that it wouldn't be allowed to do if she wasn't in there to give them her vote. So she's just bought and paid for it. And this is one of the huge problems with American politics is that it's run by big money and lobbyists and everybody can be bought at any fucking time. And it's Democrats and Republicans the same.
Yep.
There's like Obama fucking signed this huge fucking drone contract from one of his biggest fucking donors within 6 months in office, and there were more drone flyings and bombings during his time in office than any fucking else. Right? It's not like it's rocket science. Well, the drone thing is, but not
slightly.
Yes. But it's where the money comes from, and they buy politicians, they buy influence, they buy access, right? It's all about access.
Always. It's always about access. I've got friends who are in the media that will never be spoken to again by politicians because they give them a hard time, and they'll never go back on their shows. And like they're big names over here. I've got several friends that are in that position. But just to add a little bit of comedy to this, Brenna, please forgive me for this.
Oh, here we go.
Please forgive me for this.
Here we go.
You've seen The Cage, haven't you? The OG Star Trek.
Yeah.
She is like the post-Cage Christopher Pike to Tommy Lahren. That's all I'm saying.
There we go. I don't know, but you seem to upset her, so I don't like that. Don't do that anymore.
Don't upset me.
Don't upset her.
You know what I mean? I'm not trying to... She is Tommy Lahren, but...
Where is old toothpick lobotomy at these days?
She's right there. She's right there. She's had a face.
Did she get phased out? Did they replace her with somebody else?
I think she works for the Daily Wire, I think.
Yeah, she's on Daily Wire. Yeah,
she's on a big one. Yeah.
She works for Ben Shapiro.
Shitbricker.
Of course she would.
Oh, Ben Shapiro.
You talking about Candace?
Yeah.
No,
Candace works for
Tommy Lauren, right?
No,
Samuel
Lahren.
Lobotomy.
No,
Does she? I didn't know. I didn't think she. I don't
I
think
think she does.
Tommy Lahren. Let's see where she's at.
No, I don't know.
I thought she was on like a mainstream network now.
No,
I don't follow her.
Big, right? Rear.
That's just Barbie.
This is
I
the
don't know.
this is
That's
the
just
most
Barbie doll,
this is
Tommy
the
Lahren.
this is the most fucking attention and the most time her name's been said.
Oh, she
in
works for
several
Fox
years.
News.
She's a contributor on
She
Fox
does?
News.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought she left Fox News, but I thought they dumped her because she's pro-choice.
Yeah, because she said,
no.
my body, my choice.
Glenn Beck dumped her because she came out as pro-choice.
But isn't Glenn Beck a liar?
She got
that's
canceled.
the Blaze. That's the Blaze.
Blaze.
Yeah, Blaze.
Oh, it's all the fucking
Tommy Lahren was canceled for being too woke.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lefty, get out of here.
The funny thing is that what she says about it was what she said about abortion was that it wasn't the government's business, and all of a sudden she's pro-choice, she's left wing. Like, no, she did what normal people do, and not
woke.
leave it up to the government. Yeah,
she's too woke.
Yeah, she's
but that's also been her whole stick, right? Being this conservative, the government shouldn't intervene. So at least she's fucking consistent. She's a horrible fucking cunt, but she's consistent in being a cunt.
She's a consistent cunt.
Mm-hmm.
She's
I didn't say any of that.
Cunty.
I didn't say any of that.
Yeah, and that's
Don't you
the
distance
paradox.
yourself from us.
That's the paradox that the right wingers have, is this like, oh, it's my Second Amendment to have a right to bear arms. Okay, well, the government are telling you that you can't have a baby right now. Oh, yeah, that's the government telling me to do that. That's fine. Okay.
One more time.
The audacity and really the frank rudeness
We didn't make it through
campaign
it. And also
consultants and Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham, where they thought, we're going to keep Marjorie Taylor Greene away from Herschel Walker, and we don't need her voice at his campaign rallies.
Have
and
you heard
events,
it?
where we're campaigning all over the state. I think is a really major mistake and an insult to me.
She just referred to herself in the third person, and she is not The Rock.
Only The Rock can do that.
This is the get out of jail free card though that Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert and Louis Gohmert and these guys have right now, is that Herschel Walker did indeed lose the election and they were kept away. So now they're going to use that. They're going to spin that narrative that had they been there, they would have won.
If only I could have helped.
So it's coming.
Yeah.
If you guys would have just let me help.
He's like reaching out.
Come on.
I got you.
I can help. I have a cup of a cup of water. Can I pour it over the fire? No, you won't let me because you have actual tools in order to do that.
Yeah.
How dare you? I'm here to help, and if everything burns, it's because you didn't let me.
How dare you?
That's what she's saying.
To go full circle to my point earlier. Mm-hmm. This is what I know more about your politics than I do about France or Ireland. That's an indictment of our media.
Because it's also how ridiculous our government has become because of people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who their whole thing is I'm a celebrity now, and I need to be. You know how that whole celebrity gossip kind of idea that as long as you're in the gossip columns, your social status is raised. She's doing the same thing but in politics. Hey, nobody talked to me, nobody wanted me. Now I have to complain about that. So now she has to go on Fox News. She has to go on OAN. She has to go on whatever she can get her face on and complain that her face wasn't in front of the camera for this particular thing. And it's because of her status. It's because of that money coming in that she has to, her face has to be in front of a camera. That's the only thing that they're paying her, those people that are paying her, giving her war chest. Those people are paying to see her face. That's it.
It's also, to get back to Wayne's point, why he knows more about American politics is because if you put on a French newscast, you wouldn't understand it anyway.
You don't speak French, Wayne. That's a strong point.
I'll tell you what worries me about this is
Le piscine is a swimming pool. Bibliothèque is a library. Fuck you, prick.
That's all you need.
Congratulations.
What bothers me about the whole thing, though, is that they look at Georgia. Like Herschel Walker is obviously a weird candidate, right? Like Dr. Oz was kind of like a weird candidate.
Weird candidate.
And these guys barely, like, they were like fringe, like what we would call, we know that they're not actually fringe in the Republican Party, but most people would say they're fringe, like these crazy right candidates, Oz, Herschel, etc., that have these weird viewpoints. And look how narrow both of those races were. But you take like a DeSantis, a Walker, a Kemp, who like they have this aura as far as the media goes of being like the good Republicans, the normal ones.
Like
They
Rick
win by
James?
fucking landslides, right? They're winning by fucking landslides, people. And we need to wake up and realize that the media is normalizing people like DeSantis, Kemp, and Walker, who are fucking monsters, just as much of a monster as Herschel Walker is, just without the memes. Yeah.
Well,
and they win by a landslide.
Well,
Herschel Walker is funny, while DeSantis is not funny. And I think
Ron
that's what they're
DeSantis-
doing. They're trying to compare them and say, this is a Republican, this is a Republican, but this one's kind of funny. Like, this one says funny things about being a werewolf. Like, and then Ron DeSantis is allowing, people to die in his state. Like, they're making them equal, which they shouldn't.
A person who lets people die in his state, Brenna, won by 18 points, and a person who thinks he's a werewolf and a fake police officer only lost by 2%. We are fucked.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tim.
This is not normal.
Ron DeSantis is a smart and cunning political actor. Herschel Walker is an idiot.
He's a cunning stunt.
like Ron
A
DeSantis.
cunting son.
Ron DeSantis is by profession a politician. He was in the military and then he became a politician. Herschel Walker was a football player who had one too many snakes to the head. So,
couple of dingers.
But the Republican Party won't say no to these people. That's the problem.
well, that's their problem. Is they had a lot of issues with candidate quality. Dutch is once again unfortunately right.
Oh.
Herschel Walker and Dr. Oz.
Stop it. That's
and,
too. That's
and a
too
bunch of
much.
other guys.
I think Dutch. I think that
I'm gonna
means
have to do a
that you're
bloodletting or
welcome
something.
back anytime.
No.
No. All right, that's the show. The BRITTNEY is
Brenna's clearly intoxicated.
She's been on the halfling's leaf.
If the Republicans had found halfway decent candidates, like Raphael Warnock he probably wouldn't have won.
Yeah.
By 2%, he wouldn't have won.
Not probably.
To be fair, he did speak well. I saw a couple of.
And it would have been the same in Arizona too, with the governor's race.
Oh yeah,
like
Carrie Lake.
Yeah,
Ricky Lake's mom.
If they had someone who was halfway decent, then Arizona would have a Republican governor.
Well, maybe not because Carrie Lake actually polled better than the Senate candidate. So I don't know if that's a good example.
But I
the
mean,
Senate candidate.
If
that's an outlier.
If you take into consideration like the Georgia's governor's race, like, it was two good candidates and the Republican won. And obviously there was split ticket voting because Herschel Walker didn't win. So people liked whatever his name was, I forget, and didn't like Herschel Walker. Republicans split ticket voted.
And
I do think though that Republicans, people like Republicans on the state level. Tim, I'd like to get your opinion.
Yeah.
Does it seem to you that people in the U.S. are more comfortable with Republicans on the state and local level than they are in the federal level? Because that's kind of how it seems to me.
That has been the Republican strategy for the last 30 years, is to win the state houses, win local elections, and build a structure that would lead them to just constantly controlling all these state houses, to where if they lose president, it doesn't matter that much,
right?
Because they still control all the states.
You can't implement anything after that. Well, it's like you start getting to state and then county, and then you get into the state, and then now you can gerrymander the hell out of that state.
Yeah.
And then now you control then you control the Congress, because you can gerrymander it to hell. And then that will make sure that whatever you want, because we talked about this, how the legislative branch has more strong control, right?
Yeah.
And so once you get that, which is why the Republicans are so pissed off that they didn't get full control of the Senate, or they didn't get control of the Senate, they didn't get good control of the Congress, because that's how they get shit done. Is they have to control that particular branch, and if they control that particular branch, then they get everything they get to pass through, and then eventually they get to whine and cry over the fact that they didn't get what they wanted.
They're only a half a Ariana Grande away from winning.
They realized.
I love that one, don't you? I love it now.
I think what they realized is that even though Democrats turn out heavy in presidential elections and maybe even midterms, nobody pays attention to the state house races. Nobody pays attention to local elections, and they realized the strategy was to get to get their base out for those elections and win those places, so that they're in control of the school boards, they're in control of the towns, they're in control of the state houses, they have governorships,
the city councils.
Yeah, and that's their strategy, and then they build on that structure to win higher level races. You're right, they'll gerrymander districts on the state and federal level. Yeah, absolutely.
Tim is sounding like fucking lovely right now. I am taken away by the audio fidelity of one Tim Bristol. You sounding sexy over there. Damn, son.
I don't know what I did.
Leaning into his mic. That's why.
It's like at the perfect distance. He's not blowing my eardrums out like Dutch's intros. You know, he's just. Oh my god. Yikes.
All right.
Thanks for taking the shot at me.
You're welcome.
All right.
Put that away.
Are we done? Are we ready?
Let's get out of here.
I'm hungry.
Bye.
Yeah, we're gonna get some food. We're gonna rate Tina 2. Make sure you guys say hello in the chat.
Raid me.
Are you
raid
live?
Me. Right. No, I'm gonna pick up. I'm just fucking with you.
Okay. Yep. See how I had no problem rating you?
You
I didn't make a big deal out of it. But yeah, we're gonna raid Tina. We'll see you guys next Ben's Day.
Thanks, guys.
Dutch, Tim, thanks for hopping on. And for Brenna, for Wayne, for Shartan, and myself, Mikey Famine. Bye!
Cheerio.